I'm Cortisa, a wife and homeschooling mom of 5. I want to change lives one room at a time by building confidence, creating joy, and revitalizing hospitality. With 7 simple steps, I'll teach you how to make your space everything you've always dreamed it could be. Hey y'all, welcome to Make Your Space. I'm Cortisa.
And I'm Larry.
On this episode, we're moving forward with our next step, step 6 of our 7 simple steps, meeting with a designer.
Now that can be a little bit scary. I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit intimidated. That's why I'm moving around in my chair right now.
I can see why.
Yep, I'm a little nervous. But I want to start the show off with a win today. Right now, you're looking at a picture of a professionally designed room that this designer made for the family. It was over $10,000. Now you're looking at a picture of our living room and our sunroom. And together, we were able to do both of those rooms, same feel. We were able to get it done for less than half that money. So using the 7 simple steps have really worked for us, and it's really exciting for us to continue to move forward with it, even though I am intimidated about this round here. You look at the numbers for designers, most projects average $6,300 across the United States when you're working with designers, and the average range for projects is $1,800 to over $10,000. So those are some big dollars, some big money, and makes me a little bit nervous.
I can definitely see why those are big numbers, but that's why we have the 7 simple steps. If you're following those steps, they're meant to give you the confidence that you need to work with a designer on any scale, effectively and efficiently, whether you have a huge budget or a very small budget, whether the scope of your project is one room or an entire home. Following the 7 simple steps will give you the foundation that you need and the confidence that you need to work well. So let's review those steps quickly. Step 1 is deciding how the space needs to function optimally for you and your family. Step 2, assessing your resources and limitations. Step 3, determine how you want the space to feel. Step 4, choosing your color palette. Then step 5, researching the design ideas and starting to create your plan.
Okay. I feel a little more comfortable, a little more confident now that you said that, but I am still a little nervous. Got some questions, and I know we've gotten a lot of questions. So today we're going to do our format a little bit differently. We're going to have 3 main questions. We're going to put all of our information underneath those 3 questions to help calm me down.
Yeah, and to help squash a lot of the rumors and misnomers about designers and working with them.
You know, I've got one. Actually, I've got like 3.
Okay.
They roll over your ideas and just push their own ideas.
Okay.
That they have a single style that they just push on you.
Okay.
And that they're not really good at communicating. Those are some things I've heard.
Okay.
They're kind of bullies.
Yeah, well, we're gonna squash a lot of that today. Our plan is to squash all of it because our ultimate goal is to create a space that becomes our favorite place to be and a space where we can invite others to enjoy it as well.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm nervous to talk to a designer. I'm not even sure of all that they do.
Well, to answer that question, let's go ahead and start with the definition. Interior design is the art and science of enhancing the interior of a building to achieve a healthier and more aesthetically pleasing environment for the people using the space. An interior designer is someone who plans, researches, coordinates, and manages such projects.
There used to be a time when people saw interior designers as professionals that only worked on large-scale projects, renovations, new builds. Well, today is a new day, and interior designers work on a number of different types of projects from the smallest to the largest scale. They can help you pick a paint color for your wall, style your bureau, choose window treatments, pick pillows, find organization solutions for your home. There are a number of things that they can do for you from, like I said, the smallest scale to the largest scale.
Well, that sounds a little better, but honestly, I'm still really intimidated because I know that they have this huge skill set.
Okay.
They've got a lot of knowledge. I don't have any of that stuff. So
I can see that.
I really am. I'm real nervous still going into the process.
And I can understand that. You will, when you're searching, interface with some professionals that have a wealth of knowledge and experience and a pretty hefty price tag that can come along with it. But don't give up. Keep searching. Even though you may find someone who only works on certain types of projects or who only works with a certain size budget, don't worry. There are plenty of interior designers out there, and they're very flexible, and you will find the person who can work best with you within your budget and your scope of project, whether large or small. Are you getting there, Larry? I believe in you, buddy. I know you can do it.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's move on to the next question.
I'm not even sure where you can find a designer.
Well, I got really excited in answering this question because I was starting to move from fear into fun. And so I went online. That's the first place we always go for everything, of course. And so I looked at house.com. I looked at Decorist. Those are two great resources I saw to connect you with interior designers and also give you related information.
Haverly's a great one as well. And we'll be listing some below for you.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Now, we personally found our interior designer at our local home decor boutique.
Yeah. And of course, there's Facebook. It's a place where we lift each other up, and unfortunately, it's a place we tear each other down. But we're not going to talk about that here. We are going to just remind you that a lot of communities and neighborhoods have their own local Facebook pages. Another great spot to look for resources like interior designers.
Yeah,
you can go to
absolutely.
local coffee shops as well. Another great resource.
When you go to your friend's home, if you like the aesthetic that you see there, ask them who did their space, who helped them with their space. That could be a great resource as well. If your budget is small and the scale of your project is small, you may even want to consider working with a design student. They're always looking to advance their portfolio. Once you've identified a few people that you think you might want to work with, you want to develop a list of questions, which we'll help you with. We'll include that information below as well. You want to be thorough and take lots of good notes. Some of the questions you might want to ask them about projects and scope of those projects that they've already completed. See if they have any references and or photos.
Well, this is a little scary for me. Okay, I'm doing good though. Certifications is another thing that's important to a lot of people. So we have the American Society of Interior Designers.
Yeah.
They've got certifications, so you can ask your potential designers about that.
Think about your schedule. Talk to them right away about your project, the scope, and the schedule. Then you'll be able to know pretty quickly if there's someone you'll be able to work with.
Talk about main styles and aesthetics. A lot of people are flexible, but some designers do like to stay within a couple of realms there. So you want to make sure that you understand what that is before you might talk about hiring them on. So, hey, you know what? I did not have to do my breathing exercises during this round.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Me too. Me too. But here we go.
I don't know. You might want to.
Yeah, we're going into the last question,
Yeah.
which is going to be the really intense one. So I'm just going to do a quick one here.
Good job. Good job. All right.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm proud of you.
Let's go to that last question.
I wonder how you can even work with a designer anyway. I hear they just steamroll over all your ideas.
Well, as you can see, I'm still quite nervous, but I am getting more comfortable with this process as we go forward. And as we answer this last question, how do you work well with a designer? There's some things to really go through here. Number one, we want to make sure that you have set the ground rules with your designer. You've gone through the cost. You've gone through the contract. A lot of them nowadays have a quick exit clause in case that, the relationship's not working out. You could just do that in writing. You want to be looking at how do they like to work? Do they like to collaborate online? Do they like to do phone calls in person? Can you call them, send text pictures? Those type of things. You want to know if they're going to be billed. Just set those ground rules right away. That'll give you a nice comfort zone when it comes to working with your designer.
Yeah. Trust is a fundamental part of every relationship, and it's no different with your designer.
Do you trust me?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry.
Most days.
What?
Just kidding. Hire somebody that you trust, and then trust them. If they suggest something that you don't love right away, keep an open mind. Ask them why they decided to make that design choice to see if it fits in with the overall goal and vision that you guys have for this space. Take time to live with the item to see if it makes the other stars in your room shine and if it fits with the overall design aesthetic. You may even come to like it over time. So keep an open mind. Keep the overall vision of what you have for your space. Keep that at the forefront and stay flexible. Sometimes that perfect design plan or that perfect piece of furniture or the wallpaper you wanted to use in the bathroom is just not in the budget. Or it can't be ordered on time, or it can't be ordered at all. Sometimes plan B can be even better than plan A, so just stay flexible.
I was a plan B, wasn't I?
More like a plan F.
Yeah, that's not.
F for
Now, we've said this-
I'm just kidding. I didn't mean that.
Wow.
Sorry.
We've mentioned
No,
this.
E for excellent.
Yeah, E for effort. That really is. But we've mentioned this a few times before, but I really want to mention it again because it is so vital, is preparation. And that's the steps 1 through 5 to get to step 6 here. The more the effort that you put in there, you're going to be more comfortable,
Absolutely.
you're going to be more productive, and you're going to save a lot more money in the long run because you are prepared. You know where things are going to go, and you will not need the designer to do a lot of the work for you. And that's where you're going to save a lot of the money.
Absolutely. Knowing your style, knowing the functionality of your space, how you need things to function, all of those are really important so the designer has a clear picture of what you want and what you need in your space. I feel like I've gotten some of the most value from working with my designer in them just being able to put all the pieces together for me and give me and help me to create a cohesive space that my family is able to enjoy. And one of our favorite places to be is home, and being able to invite others to come and enjoy our space with us.
Plan E,
E for excellent.
E for effort.
As you can see, I'm taking notes because this is a very important part of meeting with your designer so that you're prepared for the next step, which is step 7, going shopping. Once I ask Dell all the questions that I have for my space and she answers those questions, I write down those answers, then I'm prepared and I know exactly what I'm looking for when I shop. And we are here in my dining room with one of my favorite designers, Del Karp from Del Karp Interiors. Del,
Yes.
this is my space.
Yes.
Like I told you before, I'm in a conundrum. Where I am right now is that I have these pieces. Most of them are pieces I already had. A few of them are pieces I've purchased. But what I'd like to do is be able to use what I already have to sort of finish styling the table and the console.
The sideboard,
Yeah,
yes.
the sideboard. Thank you. And so, but I'm stuck. I have zero design skill or training. And so this is where, for me, a designer is worth their weight in gold, especially one that you work really well with. So, and I work beautifully with Del. I absolutely love her. Her work
Thank you for
is
teasing.
phenomenal. So if you are anywhere in Nashville, or in the area, you have to come and see her and give her a call. So Del, can you help me here? I'm feeling like the table is really just, it's so much wood. I feel like it needs to kind of be warmed up a little
Right,
bit.
and we need some texture on the table.
Okay.
So by bringing in the table scarf, I will start with that. I will layer that on the table to begin with and kind of do it a little messy so that it doesn't look too structured. But that would be my starting point. So we're probably not going to need all of these things. There's too many candlesticks.
Okay.
The clock seems a little bit out of scale. I love the idea of the picture, and we're probably going to need some plates or something to stage it as you were getting ready for a buffet dinner. That is my idea, to kind of give it that feel. So ready to come in, ready to sit down, have good company, good food, and be in a wonderful space. So let's see if we can accomplish that for you.
I love it. Perfect. So let me get rid of the things that we're not going to
So
be using.
no clock. I am going to use the stand. I think
Okay,
I'll put the
perfect.
stand back over here.
Okay.
Maybe add a little warmth with this tray.
Okay.
These we may or may not need.
Okay, I'll put these on the side
Okay.
just in case.
I'm going to take the tray because I feel like there's so much glass and glitz going on the table that the tray will add some wood and texture to the back sideboard.
Okay. Lovely.
Okay.
So Del, thank you for making the table beautiful and perfect.
You are welcome. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed watching you work. Next, my buffet.
Yes.
What would be your recommendations for that?
Well, a buffet is always a nice place to have some ambient lighting. We do not need task lighting, but ambient lighting gives a nice softness and glow to the room when the chandelier is not on, or it can be an additional point of light for dinner parties and such.
Okay. So my second question would be, what type of light? Like what color should it be? How tall should it be?
Right. Well, the height is going to be determined by the mirror. We probably want it to go at least 1/3 up to the bottom of the mirror.
Okay.
And the color needs to be probably a cream because we have so much vivid color going on in the walls and we want that to stand out. It also could be like an undulating shape, so it doesn't have to be smooth. It could have a little bit of reference to texture to it. So a cream shade, a cream lamp, 2/3 the height into the mirror.
Okay. Now I love plants in my
Yes.
spaces. So would it be a good spot to add one there? Or
Yes,
not?
that
Okay.
would be wonderful. Life is always projected in the plants, and it makes a nice little addition to any tablescape.
Now I have the beautiful vase that's clear with some green dots on it. I feel, should I put something in it or can it stay on its own, or what would you recommend there?
We talked about earlier some sticks. I think
Okay.
that would be great
Okay.
to go ahead and do the sticks in there. Again, we want to add a little height. The cylinder that the candle and the shells are in needs something to balance that.
Okay. Okay. So nice height, natural color. What do you think about the
It
color
could be
system?
natural,
Okay.
it could be gold, it
Okay.
could be a little bit of a mixture of both.
Okay. All right. Now, as you can see, I'm taking notes as Del is talking because when I go out shopping, I need to know exactly what I'm looking for. So, and I know and I trust her expertise and her design eye, as I have zero design skill or training, as I've said before. So it's really important for me to be prepared when I go out to shop. And I encourage you to do the same when you meet with your designer. I feel so incredibly fortunate to be able to work with such an amazing, talented, kind, creative designer. I really, really love working with Del from Del Carpinterias. She is truly amazing. She pushes me a little bit out of my comfort zone, which helps to give me the confidence I need to create those wow factors in my spaces. And she also helps to steer me away from some potentially not so good design choices that will cost me more money and more time in the future. So I can't really reiterate enough the benefits that come from working with a designer after you've done a lot of the legwork and you've set your plan in place and you've really determined what you need and what you want in your space. The designer is there to help you pull it all together and fulfill the vision that you have.
Yeah, the wow factor.
Yeah. Who does not want a wow factor? Who doesn't want someone to walk into your home and admire the space?
I know I love a wow factor. You're my wow factor.
Really? You're my wow factor, honey. I love
E
you.
for effort.
E for effort.
So one last thing to talk about here, and that is something I've dreaded the whole way through. Maybe some of you have been with me, and that is conflict. Because conflict could happen with you and your designer. So what's the best way to handle conflict? Really, it's just three simple things to think about. One is early communication. If you have some sort of issue, don't sit on it because then you'll add emotion to it. Get it communicated right away. You'll be able to work it out. Two, if you've done the proper preparation that we've been encouraging you to do throughout, it's not going to be an emotional thing or an attack on anybody. It's simply just checks and balances along the way to the destination of your space. Three, last thing is, don't just come with something that you don't like or you're having an issue with. Try to come with what the resolution might look like as well. Because then that gives them an opportunity not to feel defensive. They can accept what you're saying, and then you have a possible solution. So that's a really big piece of the conflict. Honestly, we're talking about not only design relationships here, we're talking about marriages as well. I think we've given some good tips there as well. I think we're going to resource this out once we're done with it.
Sounds like a good idea.
I think so.
Well, we are so glad that you guys joined us, and hopefully this was helpful. We'll have some resources in the comment section. Leave us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave us a comment. If you have further questions, we'd be happy to try to help out as much as we can. Again, I can't reiterate enough, starting with the first of the 7 simple steps, the first 5, to lay the groundwork, determine your style, what you need, what's going to work best for your space, and then taking some time to work with the designer so they can give you that wow factor that you're looking for. And they can also help you to visualize and truly, see what it is you're wanting in your space.
And tonight on 60 Minutes, 2 young YouTubers have their children interrupt their session over and over. That's tonight on 60 Minutes.
Live with the item for a moment. Let it melt in, or let it embrace within the
It looks
aesthetic
like we have
of
a
the design.
visitor.
Yes.
Do I something on my head?
Okay. So why don't you come over here? I'll kiss it while Mom's talking, and then you can go back up to sleep, okay?
You want to live with the item for a moment. Let it sit within the design aesthetic to see if it really works with your overall vision and plan that you have. See if it helps make the stars in your room shine. You never know, so always keep an open mind and keep the overall stay flexible.
Yeah. And I'm going to say it one more time. We've mentioned it so many times before, but the 7 simple steps. Excuse me, that's all right. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt.
Tongue twister.
It is tongue twister. It's not really, but
You're great.
no, you are. I don't think you trust me.